Last year, we added a couple of new guys to the team, and one of those was Scott Mincing. And man, right off the bat, he just hit the ground running with a buck on opening day in Kansas. And from that point forward, Scott became a huge contributor to the team. Had a very creative eye and could also get it done in front of the camera as well. This past year, Scott introduced us to a friend of his by the name of Kit, who was starting to hunt and film with him a little bit. With Kit being a little bit inexperienced behind the camera and not having a great deal of experience as a videographer, Scott kind of just settled into the role of being a cameraman for most of the season and teaching Kit a little bit here and there along the way. It was a scenario that really was going to work out well for Kit, but in the end work out well for Scott too.
This moment is a reflection of where you've been, where you are, and where you will be. This moment is a step into the unknown, not one that asks what or where, but who. This moment is a step on hallowed ground.
Whenever we get out in the early season, usually whether it's Missouri or Iowa or wherever it is that we happen to be hunting, our minds are typically on bucks those first few days. But after about a week, that begins to fade and we really start going after the does.
It's the morning of October 11th. We've got a ground blind set up about 40 yards off a very active scrape. We're getting close to 300 pictures a night and day of buck activity and lots of does moving through this area. We've got two shooters that are on our list that have been coming through here regular. One we've named King Ralph. It's a big, mature 5.5, 6.5-year-old buck. So we're hopeful today will be the day our heavy 8 or King Ralph makes an appearance and we can get a good shot on him and, if we're lucky, harvest a nice buck. Almost 10 o'clock this morning, and we've had deer on us all morning long. A group of does came in, a nice mature doe came out into our food plot here. Took a shot on her at 20 yards, and looks like we're gonna have a little meat for the freezer.
Hallowed Ground Outdoors is brought to you by Quality Archery Designs. You take care of the shot, we'll take care of the rest. Halo Extanium rangefinders. Never compromise, never miss. Tinks, America's #1 leading buck lure. Diamond Buck blinds, a cut above the rest. Muddy Outdoors. Out here, our reputation is what defines us.
Sportsman's Guide. For everything to outfit your passion at lowest prices guaranteed.
Caldwell Shooting Supplies. Accuracy anywhere. Fog Zero. Keep your optics clean and fog free for a clear shot every time. Extreme Hunting Solutions. Stick and lick screw and deer attractant. Outlast the competition. Lockdown vault accessories. Get organized, save time, get the most out of your vault.
What does it take to get to the top? It takes determination. When you're done, get up and do it again. It takes everything physically and mentally that you can pull from within. It takes hard work, and no one's going to hand it to you. It takes everything you've got, but only one rest. The Ultra Rest by QAD.
It's 8:15. We call this the gasoline stand or the 9 o'clock stand because so many times we've killed good bucks here between 9 and 10 o'clock. So I'm hoping for 8:30. It's 2 degrees. Probably a little warmer than that now that an hour's went by since I've been out here. So hopefully a big buck will come by and I'll be able to whack it and get good video.
Well, another year for Rick Thomas that I did not get to be in the woods from September 15th until November 1st. Due to work schedules and Mandy taking me on vacation the last week of October, I did not even get to the woods until November 3rd. Got out in the woods and it just seemed like all the rutting activity was slow in the areas that I was hunting, and just couldn't see a good buck. Saw some immature ones, but for the good ones, just couldn't put it together. However, I did put some backstrap on the old table.
It is cold out. It started out 2 degrees this morning. It's about 11 or maybe a little bit after 11. I've only seen one small buck, and then a doe came in, and I was like, I gotta kill something. I know it's the rut, but there's other does on the farm. We know this is just a travel corridor for the most part, and bucks just seem to go up and down this finger woods looking for does, and they're gonna come by here anyway regardless if there's a doe or not. We just haven't been able to connect with a big mature buck, so I'm gonna eat me a Pop-Tart, try to sit here a little bit longer, and if nothing happens, I'm going to get everything packed up, carry it to the field edge, right over where my doe died, and go get the truck, drive around here, load everything up, get warm, and go to another farm. Well, I really don't have to track this doe, however we will.
because I watched her fall over. And then I ranged her. And she went 52 yards. But I just want to show you the blood that she poured out from having an exodus go through her pump station. Nothing but lungs, baby.
That doe didn't go nowhere and she bled out, but I was really wanting to kill a mature buck, so my next stop is Iowa.
We are hunters. We spend the preseason studying the weaknesses of our prey. As the season wears on, we grow closer to exploiting those weaknesses. So when the magical hour is upon us, when the moment of truth arrives, we will emerge victorious. Tinks, America's #1 buck lure.
Throughout the season, a lot of us will keep contact with each other and we'll swap pictures of different bucks that we're seeing and kind of keep each other updated as to what's going on. And Kit and Scott were on an incredible buck that they had nicknamed King Ralph. By the time that rifle season rolled around, Kit and Scott still had not connected with this buck. And we're kind of faced with the same dilemma that I think a lot of people are faced with that are diehard bow hunters, and that is, do you put down the bow and pick up a gun, or do you stick to your principles and remain a bow hunter to the very end? Kit ended up deciding to do what I think a lot of us would do, and that is to go to the stand with both his rifle and his bow.
Missouri. Had does on us as soon as we got into the stand. We had snow last night, maybe a quarter of an inch or so. And this spot we've been in before and had some shooters coming through, which is why we elected to come back. We have our big main shooter, King Ralph, that lives on this farm, but you know, we've never seen him over here before, but we've had some other really nice mature bucks and frequent encounters, so we elected to come back up here today. The wind's coming in perfect for the stand that we're in. We're by 2 bean fields, and we're hoping with the amount of does we've already seen this morning at first light that hopefully we'll have some bucks take interest and come through this area. So we're gonna hunker down, try to stay warm, and see how things will play out for the morning. So we've had dramatic weather changes like we were talking about before here. And our big shooter that we named Ralph was coming in down off of this ridge, coming out of this pinch point from these bean fields. He was angling towards us, and we were getting ready to have hopefully a good shot on him with our bow. And instead he kind of turned and started angling away. Missouri. We had brought our gun into the stand just in case such a occurrence were to have happened. And nonetheless, that's what did occur. So he was walking away at about 65 yards and gave me a shot. Took it, and he didn't go too far. So we're gonna let him sit for a bit and then see if we can go recover him and show you what our King Ralph looks like.
This segment is brought to you by Hoyman Tree Saws, fully extendable premium tree saws.
It's pretty awesome to be friends with T.W. Norman because he's kind of my in to hunting up in Iowa. Most of the time I was running camera for him, and it didn't matter because whether I'm running a camera or hunting, being in Iowa is amazing. After about a week of filming TW, we just could not put it together. Even though we were seeing plenty of good bucks to shoot, it just, sometimes when they're there, it just doesn't happen. He put me in touch with one of his good buddies, Ty Green, and him and his wife, Christy, decided to let me stay with them and feed me, and most importantly, take me out and put me on some big bucks. We went in the next day, got a blind, put all the corn stalks around it, some brush and different things where it kind of blended in right on a terrace, and we got in that in the afternoon, and I could not believe all the different deer that started coming up and filtering over the top of that hill. It was quite the show. After watching several good bucks filter by, these two good bucks come over the hill and they were standing side by side, and it was awesome. It was a beautiful picture. I knew the video was looking good, and Ty said, hey, those are both good mature bucks, so he gave me the green light, and I decided to smoke the one on the right.
I don't think he dropped. He ran, but
We went in the next morning, and just like one of my other good bucks that I've killed, the coyotes got there and they did some eating before I got to. So I was pretty disappointed that they actually ate about half of my deer before I even got to put my hands on my trophy.
I would say he's a little bit frozen. He died right away, evidently. Look at the snow covered him. Not a bad Iowa buck, is it? Nope. And thank you, Ty. Golly, that's awesome.
I think God does everything for a reason and on purpose, on target, and one of those things is putting me and TW together. We met at a wildlife expo about 10 years ago, and through that relationship, that has led me to be able to go to Iowa and hunt these big mature bucks. And I tell you what, if he will allow me to do that, I'm gonna go back to Iowa as often as I can. But more importantly than the hunts are the relationships that I have built with other hunters, other people. And to me, that is better than any buck that I will ever kill.
In this sanctuary, my hallowed ground, and I am standing on this hallowed ground where I was born, and it's where the
Frozen Pop-Tarts. You gotta love it.
Tell 'em I'll be right here on